Well, Raph. So this is fantastic. I finally got Raph in the mail, which is absolutely glorious for me because it almost finishes my rule of turtles. If you don't know, I have a rule of turtles that I follow. Anytime I'm going to get into a line of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, in order to ground myself and not go crazy and just buy everything and then be broke, because I'll do that, Turtles was a big deal to me. I had a huge foundation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I've literally had each turtle in my life as a favorite character in different points of my life. Raph, when I was the youngest, Raph was the guy that I first liked the most. He was my favorite turtle. As I grew up, I started liking Donatello. I kind of started to like all the super hyper intelligent characters. Donatello, Egon Spangler, things of that nature. They were my favorite characters for a while. You could basically pinpoint whatever show I was looking at, say, that's the smart guy, that's the one he likes. Then, as time went on, I started to like Mikey. I hit this kind of moment in my life where I didn't want to take things so seriously. I just wanted to have fun, right? And Mikey became my favorite turtle. And then, as it stands nowadays, Leonardo is my favorite turtle. It's an interesting evolution of time that I've watched my personality kind of evolve and take shape. And each time my personality kind of evolved, I never lost interest in the turtles. I just kind of evolved into a point of having a different favorite for the time and the reason my life was in a different place than it was each time. It just kind of blows me away how life kind of does that with you. But I have a ground rule. When I get into a Turtles line, to avoid going crazy, my rule is the 4 turtles, Splinter, Shredder. Done. At that point, if I go further in the line, that's fine. But I won't just go crazy, get into the line, see that there's a bunch of stuff, buy Leonardo, maybe get Donatello, and then I come across, Rocksteady, so I gotta get him, and then I'm Bebop and I gotta get him, and then I remember Slash, I gotta have Slash. And then before I know it, I'm like 40-something characters deep, plus like 2 playsets or something like that, and I never even finished the actual main cast. That can happen to me, so I made a ground rule. Every time I jump into a Turtles line, I buy the 4 turtles, I buy Splinter, I buy Shredder. At that point, the line will open up to me and I can do what I want. Until then, I am grounded. I have a very strict spending area. There's Raphael. That means the only one I need to hunt down, well, I do gotta find the Shredder. So I need the Shredder, and I need Splinter. But the 4 turtles finishes right here. I got them. So the line is just about to open up to me, and then I'll make decisions. But I don't know how far those decisions are going to go. And I've already kind of had a bit, because MOTU seems to work this way. If you miss the hit, it's gone and the price skyrockets. So I'm already seeing things like Slacker, the faker version of, Slash Faker. From what I understand, he's already jumping in value. And I'm already seeing that some of like the Mossmen are going on clearance, and like, it's kind of crazy to me. It almost seems like I've already missed the boat on certain figures, and I'll be paying double, if not triple prices if I ever want to put them on the shelf. Do I want to? I don't know. Some of them I do. Some of them it very much intrigues me. But my rule of thumb says Shredder, then Splinter, then I'll figure it out. We don't need to worry about the box. It's got fantastic artwork, as always. There it is. It is absolutely fantastic artwork, as all artwork from MOTU is fantastic artwork. But for right now, all I really care about, well, we'll talk about the cross-sell for a second. We have Raphael. I have him. Ram Man, I do want Ram Man. Shredder, I do want Shredder. Beast Man. Love-hate relationship with the Beast Man. It's just Beast Man in samurai armor. Could that be cool? One could argue that could very much be cool. But one could also argue that it's false advertisement, that when they showed the preview pictures, they showed that shield, and I don't get that shield. I know that's nitpicking. But you showed me the shield in the preview images, and it made me want him on that shield alone. Then you took that shield away. Maybe it doesn't mean so much to certain people, but to me, sometimes a single accessory or a single item or a pose or a coloring can make all the difference in a figure and can be the determining factor of why you want said figure. Only for that color to then not be there. And some people would say, well, you were going to buy it anyway, what does it matter? Well, we've already had an entire video on that here, when they sold a Tila that was not gold and white. It was yellow and white. The pictures lied to us. And I made it clear then with an entire video talking about how I feel about this subject. And while I was okay with that Tila for the most part, I was disappointed with that Tila as well. Disappointed enough to where now, when I see MOTU images on the preview figures, if those are not pictures of the figure that I will buy, I do have a hard retort to it, and sometimes it can make me not want the figure at all. And in this case with Beastman, that's exactly what happened. I don't want him if you're not going to sell the shield that made me want him in the first place. Minor, stupid, nitpicky thing, but we're collectors, and sometimes we're fickle about it. Let's open him. All right, look at that. There he is. He's fantastic. Review over. No, this guy is really good. I was a little worried about Raphael, if you want the truth of it, because I thought all of the armor would be like a hindrance, and maybe he'd kind of be, you know, kind of like Ram Man, where Ram Man is kind of like short and bulky. But luckily the Ram Man type armor on Raph, because they allowed Raph to still stay big, works really well and gives a lot of benefit to the Ram Man outfit in general. He is really cool. Minor complaint. Minor. I wish I had two of those. That is cool. That should have been his weapons. Like, just straight out, that should have been the weapons. This, it actually like squeezes onto the fist, which is cool. So you just kind of press it down on there, and then there. He has like a Psy gauntlet fist thing. Like, just, that is brutal. That is so cool. Look at how cool that is. And then he has the big Psy sword that we've already seen on Tila. The helmet does come off, and you have a very, very solid Raphael head there. I mean, it's very good. It's really solid. I like it. And I love the things that they've done with the bandanas for these figures. I just think that's absolutely fantastic. I am not a huge fan of this Psy sword. I'm just not. I really, really like this, though. This makes it for me. And if we would have had two Psy fists, Psy gauntlets, Ram size, I don't know. That would have been it for me, because that is so good, man. I really, really like this thing. But he's got one of the coolest weapons. Him and Leo got the best weapon. Leo edging it out just a bit. I know Leo's my favorite turtle, so somebody's going to be like, it's just because that's your favorite turtle. But hear me out. Had he had two of these, he has the best weapons. But because he has this and the Psy sword that I don't really care that much for, that edges Leo as being the one that I like the weapon with the most, because it's literally two katanas that go together to form a giant broadsword, and I really, really, really like that. And I would have really, really, really liked two of these. Not to say this is bad, but if I gotta pick favorites, that's where I'm landing in terms of weapons. Otherwise, I really like this. Like, the belt is really solid. It's got a lot of good design to it. I like the turtle shell, but you know me, I've been complaining about this the whole time. I wish the turtle shells were not removable. I want these to be on here like this, and I don't want them to move. So this right here, that works for me because his shell is very solid because of the way his armor works. And I do like this helmet. He's cool without the helmet, but he actually works very well with the helmet. The helmet goes kind of down under here, which is a solid design because it just kind of caps it all off. I like this red on the top where it literally is like a turtle shell where he could ram into you with his head. And once it's on him, it kind of goes down around his face and really frames his eyes and everything. And it's just really, really cool. So here's this. I've got him. Now I want to see his brother standing with him, and that will give me the shot that I've been waiting for. What do the Turtles of Grayskull look like as a team? And there they are, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of Grayskull, Turtles of Grayskull. This is what they look like, just your simple little action pose, just dynamic enough, all of them standing, all of them with enough of the pose to be their own. I got Donnie standing here, he's got his cool staff and everything. I got him with one of his weapons out on purpose, kind of keeping the same kind of look. I got him with his sword just down enough to kind of give visual cue on the L. And of course Mikey, I have kind of sprawled out, throwing the chucks a bit. And you could argue I need to move things around a little bit to really get this to work. Like, say, maybe he should be a little more turned, right? No? Maybe this is the idea right here. Maybe he needs to be kind of like this. Maybe he needs to step forward and have a little bit of a turn to him. There, something like that. Kind of pushes him out a little further. And maybe this needs to curve in a little more, right? Kind of get the face there. That's really solid. Leo, maybe we make this decision too, right? Maybe take this off of Raph's hand, okay? Minor thing, but let's sheathe the sword, okay? Because it will do that. And then put him back there like this. There. That's pretty solid right there. Then we can move Leo over a little bit because the sword won't hit him. And we can put this sword down. Kind of like it's kind of heavy, but he's, there we go, like that. Put the brothers a little closer on that aspect. Kind of get Leo's feet out so he can stand. There's that. We got decent shells. And then move him in. That's a little bit tighter of an image. Let's clear it all up. There we go. Should we move him a little bit more? There. And maybe the littlest bit over. Not by much, but there. Solid action pose. There they are. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of Grayskull. There's my thumbnail. That is solid. These, they're fantastic. One might even say awesome. That puts the Turtles of Grayskull on the shelf. And I'm happy to have completed the brothers. That's the main part of the line I care about the most. That's why I say my grounded rule is the 4 turtles, Splinter, Shredder. At that point, I will expand into whatever else I see that I really like. Maybe I've missed out on some things. Now, I did get some things here and there that I seen them and I had the money and I had the chance, so I didn't pass on them like I did. I did, of course, get Tila, and I also bought Mouse Jaw. So I do have a couple of things here and there that I saw and I was like, I have the money, they're right there in front of my face, I should probably pick them up. So you could say I broke my rule a little bit, but because of the way the waves were coming out, and because I knew my luck with MOTU so far is pass on a figure like Web Store and pay the price, I made a couple of decisions in terms of this line and just did the pre-orders. Except for Mouse Jaw, I actually ran into him at a Target and said, I'm going to do it now, because I have a feeling when he disappears, he'll disappear hard. And maybe I was lucky. I haven't tried to look him up, but I'm curious what he costs right now, actually, because maybe I made a really real decision with that one, saved myself some real money in the long run. I don't know. Maybe it didn't really matter all that much at all. Maybe he's literally an easy clearance figure to find like on an Amazon shops and stuff like that. No clue. What I do know for sure, Raphael is added. He's standing with his brothers. That's an absolute fierce display right there, and I'm more than happy to have him. Later on.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.